Greetings, everybody! Woohoo! It's Tuesday, April 18th. It's also tax day. For those of you, this is the last day to get your taxes in. Good luck. What else is happening? Let's see. Well, we're coming up on the meetup next week. Hopefully you guys can be in Vegas. If not, I'll be doing live streams from there. There will be a couple of member streams from Vegas, at least one. We've got simulcast happening right now on multiple locations. You can watch this show and bonus time for today over on Twitter, on Rumble, and of course right here on YouTube, which many of you are at. If you have the opportunity or ability to simulcast and check out both things or three things at the same time, please help me out and do that. The chat over in Rumble needs to be live. It really does help, and I appreciate it. With that, let's get started. We're going to say hi to each and every one of you. Let's start first with Liger Fan. Look at that. We've got Pat S. in the house. Going to be checking me out on Loki's Mornings of Mischief tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking a little bit about YouTube journeys. And that's right. Loki's basically going to be interviewing me and talking to me about the struggles that you go through when you are a content creator. So that should be a lot of fun. Hope you guys can check it out. I did release a new video. It's called, well, it's basically about the fears about Guardians of the Galaxy flopping. Yes, that could be a thing. And let's say hi to Critizable, the Rainbow Knight. Great to see you. We've got Catsith in the house saying hello. And of course, there's Smokey and Z13. Hello and greetings. What a wonderful Tuesday. Vince Womack is here. Great to see you, Vince. And there's Captain Fandom Nerd. Good friend, good wrench. And good channel. We've got, well, Critizable saying hi to people. And, of course, Vince Womack saying hi to people. And then we've got SFX, F314, Saber-Tooth Raptor. And I appreciate you being here. Looks like Jess showed up over on the live chat on Rumble. Thank you for that. Looks like Just the Tip is there as well. Thank you, Jim Watari. We've got Jason Gray here from Retro Culture. Check out that channel as well. Snortopoopas Cuber, my favorite bear, is in the house, along with Robert Deves. Greetings, my friend. Great to see you. There's Theme Park Casual. What's going on, TPC? The Weatherman is here. What's up, Weatherman? And the Bad Cap. And extra time. Indeed, we do have extra time today. Darren Hughes is in the house. Good to see you. Wonderful wrench and friend. We've got Commander Ed Straker of Shadow saying hello. Happy Tuesday morning. That's right. Let's see who else rolled in the door. A few other folks popped in. Obviously, David Glenn is here. Great to see you, my friend. Thanks for being here regularly. And there's the Common Nerd. What's going on, Jesse? Thanks for being in both places at once. Let's see who else is. Yeah, I know we've got the Union of Amateur Strategists here, and it looks like Josiah Robinson is joining us as well. Dave G Sound is here, and Matt G. What's up, Matt G? Looks like Morgan King is here. What's up, Morgan? And Tender Warrior 68. Thank you so much for all your support. I appreciate the fact that you've gifted so many members. It really does make a difference, and believe me, I think people appreciate it, so thank you. We've got a Shrap 3D in the house and Mutant Bamhammer saying, Oyos, all my boyos. Yes, yes. Rod Thunderheart is taking a load up north again, so sleeping in the truck. Just be careful. Be careful. Grim is here. What's up in Theater? A few other folks like Dad Man Walking 55, who had a new sports show last night. You check out his channel. There's Gunner. What's up, Gunner? And a few other folks popping through. Looks like George Bonnie 90 is here. A few other folks like Apex Comics. What's up, man? Haven't seen you in a minute. Got DS Ford in the house and Sean MNT. I like saying Sean Mountain. I like that better. Jeremy Turner is here. What's going on? There's Mrs. Dadman Walking. Greetings, young lady. Good to see you here. KR Nut 82, Ironcaster. Of course I'm saying hi to you. What's up, buddy? So many great humans. We've got Spaceship Vampire here. We got our good friend John Cipolla here. We got Gonzalo Bergali, the lovely Southern Belle, and a few other folks. But hey, we have to go. Pinochet's helicopter tours. And yes, yelling at parked cars last night was extra spicy. Check out the whole thing over on Rumble. Who else is in the house? My goodness. There's Mephisto. What's up, Mephisto? Sean Estep, great to see you, my friend. Aaron Ratliff is here. Who else is here? Hey, Maestro Chief. All right, everybody. 6 minutes starts now. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Thanks for checking out the 6 Minute Daily. We have a lot to talk about, not a lot of time to do it in. 17 stories in all on this Tuesday, April 18th. Again, tax day, so make sure you get your taxes filed here in the United States. I don't know what tax day is anywhere else. I want to say thanks for Morgan King for checking in the Rumble chat right now, and we're off and running. We're going to start with some bad news for Disney, and specifically Marvel, and probably for this guy, Johnathan Majors. His manager, Entertainment 360, has parted ways with him because of obviously the allegations of DV, which is a bad thing. New York City isn't messing around with this one. It may be a chance for them to try to divert attention from some other really odd prosecution that they're trying to go through over there. We've got, the WGA approving strike authorization with a 97.9% vote. For those of you who work in the industry, you saw this coming. I mean, we've been talking about it for months now. And look, it really wasn't a surprise to the studios. The AMPTP really said it was just a matter of happening. It was inevitable, and they're trying to reach a fair and reasonable deal. In other words, they're trying to keep as much money as they possibly can. I think this is going to go longer than many expect, and that's kind of a sad thing, honestly. But there's a strike coming. And not only that, you have the folks over in the UK here. Yeah, they're going to stand shoulder to shoulder with the WGA. What that means exactly, don't know if they're going to go on with their own strike or if they're just not going to take American work, but something will happen. At least they've indicated so. Moving on, Cineworld is planning to sell their business outside the U.S. Oh, wait, no, they're not. They've scrapped that plan. They will be attempting to emerge from their Chapter 11 bankruptcy later this year, but they weren't able to get rid of some of the units that they wanted to. And the prices that they were offered, didn't work out well. Netflix and CBS stay on the top of the watch time ratings. Do you know why? Because they skew older, and older people are still able to watch television and do. Younger people tend not to, and that's a real problem. And if Hollywood wanted to do anything the right way, they would be behind the idea of not supporting TikTok in any way, because it doesn't actually contribute to any gains that you have for your media platforms. Moving on, Danny Masterson's trial for extreme bad behavior of alleged extreme bad behavior with ladies. He's back in court because of the deadlocked jury the first time. Speaking of this David Choe, this story isn't going to go away for similar bad behavior with a lady and a massage parlor, I guess. And we'll have to see how this goes, because not good. Not good at all. Intersectionality, that's right, they're admitting to it now. At least right here in the trades, you can see it over here on the Hollywood Reporter. Intersectionality and overseas content drove diverse film and TV in 2021-2022. This was a study based on a report from Luminate, and it talks about a progress report. I'm not sure that anybody really is invested in any of this outside of Squid Game and they filmed the TV series to the right, which I forget. I think it's called Heist. Outside of those two things, there really wasn't a lot else out there. And Woman King was a commercial financial failure and outright lies, a misrepresentation of historical events. Artificial intelligence could be really damaging to Hollywood, but more importantly, it could be damaging to your local broadcasters. At least this is from the CEO of the National Association of Broadcasters. Lots of activity in Vegas right now. This is the time of year when you get a lot of conventions that are entertainment related. They're very worried that it could damage broadcast in the future. And a lot of things were talked about in the Elon interview that was done over on Fox with Tucker Carlson last night. Elon's even considering suing OpenAI, which started as a nonprofit, then went for profit. And, well, he's looking to step into the ring and create Truth GPT to counter the AI bias that's naturally programmed into, well, both of these new chatbots. The stock market today is ticked upwards, at least in the early open. We'll have to see if it holds out there. There were some positive indicators globally, specifically for China, but I'm not sure that we can believe anything China has to say in any of their market reporting. CBC has paused their Twitter interaction because they've been labeled with government-funded media. Well, yeah, 85% of what you show is funded by your government, so accurate statement. Apple has decided to invest in India, opening their first flagship store and getting ready to start manufacturing there because they may be forced to abandon China. We've got a boy, 13 years old, getting stuck in a claw machine looking for prizes. I wonder how many of those he got to take home with him. And finally, there are actual rat ambassadors that are advocating on behalf of the rats because of all the bad press the rats are getting in the New York City infestation that's been taking place, including at the current New York City mayor's house. He's been cited. Not good. Or I guess, yeah, one of his locations anyway. Oh, my goodness, folks. We've run out of time. We've run out of stories, but not really, because there's bonus time today, because it's Tuesday. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until just a few minutes from now, hang on. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day. All right. Once again, thanks to all these amazing supporters behind me in the members credits. Lots more names to add here because of the last few days. Gonna have to add some more emojis. So I really do have to spend some time doing that this week and this weekend. So we'll get some more up there. I know I've added a couple, 3 in the last few days, but it is what it is. And I want to say thanks to those of you who are here. And for those who are going to hang out through bonus time. Still can't believe there's rat ambassadors. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that during bonus time. But I want to get back to the Johnathan Major story. I think a lot of you probably want to talk about that. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Dude's in trouble. I mean, allegations or no, sometimes careers can't weather this stuff. But, Mr. H, the H-Cast is coming up later today. I hope you show up for that. And, of course, I did drop a video about Guardians 3. So when we're done here, maybe check that out. And we're going to go to cleanup right now. Hi. All right. Here we are. Bonus time, everybody. Woo. Woo. What's up, sexy people? Good to see you. I wouldn't want to be in Johnathan Major's shoes right now. I'm not sure if you guys want to talk about that or not. For those of you over on Rumble, hello. In fact, I'm going to type hello, everyone. Yeah, if you have the ability to catch the simulcast in multiple places, check out the other 2 places that I am right now, Rumble and Twitter. Hi, Twitter. Yeah. So, and this is 100% true. Loki's Mornings of Mischief. Hey, Mischief. Hey, what's up, Loki? Can't wait to hang out with you tomorrow morning. I'm getting up an extra hour and a half early, so might be up at 4 tomorrow morning. But now we've got this allegation's 100% right. All it takes is an allegation today to ruin someone. Facts are no longer a factor, and that's a real problem, right? But unfortunately, the early response to this particular issue was not good on his attorney's part, and I know that shouldn't matter in the least, but I don't think that it was. I don't think it's been handled well. Now, I know that this attorney is very good. This criminal attorney is very good, one of the best. History of 40 very high-profile cases and the criminal side of things, in addition to all the other cases that they were involved in early on. But this particular circumstance where your management team is dropping you, yeah, that's no bueno. And it's a shame. You're right. These are allegations. And that's really what it takes nowadays to take somebody down. Apex says, bring honesty back in our society. Yeah, that'd be great. But we'll get into the story a little bit and a little bit of the background that's in this article. And then I don't know. I mean, this puts Marvel, specifically Disney as a whole, in a bind because this guy is their big bad, right? Hey, Andy, what's up? Eternal Vigilance is here. What's going on? Let's get into this real quick. It says talent manager Entertainment 360 has dropped Johnathan Majors, several sources tell us. Yeah, well, it's been confirmed. All the trades are reporting it. Even the authoritative news sources jumped on this story. So it's a recent move by Majors' longtime manager. Comes 3 weeks after the magazine Dreamstar was arrested on DV charges in New York City. So currently starring in Creed 3 and Ant-Man Quantumania, Major's departure was due to issues surrounding the actor's personal behavior, we are informed. Now, it doesn't help that a lot of people came forward right after this incident happened and said, oh, we always knew he was, a rough guy or whatever else they said, allegedly. And again, I'm going to keep saying that word allegedly because there's an equal chance that this is all hoopla, and I don't want to fall for hoopla, but there seems to be a lot of smoke to this fire, and I keep covering it, and they keep, piling on more cords of wood. So, but the PR firm, the lead company, also initiated a break with the Avengers actor last month. So now you have the PR folks leaving him. You have his management company, Entertainment 360, leaving him. Why? Why? Well, I mean, for the management company, 15% of nothing is still nothing. So, I mean, does it really hurt them? No. I mean, financially, he's kind of a liability if they continue to carry him, and he's guilty. If they already know something we don't know, like the video they've seen of inside the cab that supposedly exists, maybe. Of course, they're not going to talk about it. They're going to keep quiet because they don't want to draw attention to themselves. They manage other clients. So Majors is also out of the fashion house Valentino. They mutually agreed that the actor wouldn't be attending this year's Met Gala as one of its guests because that was already lined up, probably in line with magazine dreams and some other things. I don't know. But so this is good news because I speculated that this wasn't the case, but Kang the Conqueror won't go before cameras in Avengers the Kang Dynasty for quite some time. In other words, I don't think he is going to appear in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which may be a good thing because Guardians 3 already is suffering under the weight of its own issues, as I've reported in today's video. You might want to check that out if you get a chance. For those of you that are here, I do appreciate it. Please hit the like button while you're here. Yeah, it's really, really helpful. Let's get into what Pinochet says here. It says, hey, what's up, Pinochet's helicopter tour? It says, for $5, can anything done before a writer's strike be made? Yeah. I'm okay if Hollywood gets stuck in the mud with the strike. Nothing is better than their status quo. The thing is a lot of procedurals, multicam, and comedy stuff. Some of those things are going to get stuck halfway through. This is eerily similar to, if you guys have lived long enough to know what the 07-08 strike was, and then the previous strike before that was significant. But 07-08 was particularly damaging to television. It brought about the expansion of reality TV, which is primarily driven by showrunners that set up the contrivances that you view on the screen with those shows. I don't know. I mean, this is one of those where one of those situations where you could have programs that are essentially halted halfway through, and they'll release like part 1 of a season and then have a part 2 of a season. We could end up with a situation like we did with Battlestar and other things where things just got stuck in the middle. Of course, Battlestar, I don't believe, was involved in that, or maybe it was. I can't recall, but yeah, it's just a little rough. But anyway, I That hopefully that gave you an answer. But if everything's already written and they don't need a writer on the set, I guess they could make it. But at least that's the way things have worked before. We do have a couple of folks that work in productions that talk about this on the regular, so we'll keep an ear on the ground. But you get a clip.
Your kindness knows no bounds. Except for whatever $sign you chose to stop at.
Anyway, and here's a good point that I think a lot of people miss. Avengers actor, he's not in any Avengers stuff yet. The question is just how prevalent is he in the Loki season 2 series? He reportedly substantially almost every episode. I think like only one episode where he's not featured in or part of. We'll have to see. Spaceship Vampire asks, was Kang really going to be the new Thanos from day one? Because I doubt it. That's what they were trying to do. Whether or not he could have achieved that, don't know. Pops says, hey, Pops, what's up, man? Good to see you. He says, these corporations will always presume guilty before innocent, and that's to their detriment. Look at what happened with Disney and their relationship with Johnny Depp when all that was revealed to be bologna sausage. Not good. Not good. But I find that, when it comes to these kinds of stories, it's better to start off from our normal American presumption, which is you are presumed to be innocent. You're presumed to be innocent rather than guilty. So, yeah, Pops, it's kind of sad. And I'm with you, Apex. What happened to separating professional and private life? I don't know. They used to do it quite well in Hollywood, to be fair. I mean, a lot of this stuff was settled behind the scenes, and rightly so, I would say. Rightly so. Let's get back to the article real quick. And, Davinia is right as far as the strike goes. They have enough garbage in the can. Yeah, and there will be scabs. Yeah, and they may lean into AI writing. You don't need people with AI writing. You need showrunner type things into it. In fact, I guarantee you the future for reality television is just typing in a weird scenario that is rewritten better by the AI that is then presented in front of you on the TV as reality. I hate that kind of lie, but it is what it is. Griffin's like, YouTube kept hiding the link here again. Well, I'm sorry about that, but I'm glad you made your way over, Griffin. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think the clips are great, Rambam 3000. I really appreciate Floral putting those together. And, of course, Punk Waddle and a few other things. I'm waiting for my Jolly clips and maybe El Perro and stuff. Should be good. Hey, Pinochet sent another super chat. Thank you. If you want to support the show and be featured and get a clip, you can do what Pinochet Helicopters Tours did and send a super chat. That's awesome. Thank you for the $5. And again, today's sponsor of the show. How hurt will Disney be if their current products, if a strike occurs? You creators can really capitalize on Hollywood's misfortune. Carpe diem, CC. That's right. Yeah, seize the day. And I agree with you. This will only further people's movement towards streaming platforms. And if we create good entertainment, like we plan to, a comics divisions channel, and here on this channel with a few specials of my own and things like that, which are down the road. I'm actually going to start doing a segment on the late night culture show. That's kind of game show oriented. So I think that's going to be fun with a panel of guests. I'm going to surprise you. Also, look at what Corey, over at Talks a Lot Entertainment's doing right now. Talks a Lot. If you Talks a Lot, if you don't get a chance to go over there, you really should, because he's working on an amazing game show idea as well. Look, entertainment comes in a lot of different forms, and I think you're right. But how hurt will Disney be with their current products if a strike occurs? Well, anything that's being rewritten, anything slated for reshoots, anything that needs to be represented, redressed, whatever, especially with the majors thing happening, they could be stuck in a weird form of limbo. So it could hurt them. Could push production times back and longer. Could further dampen enthusiasm for the MCU overall, which, again, I think that right now it's a very heavy, like, fire blanket, drenched with water that that is holding down the MCU right now. But I could be wrong. But I do feel that's the way. I do feel that's the way. And thanks again for an amazing super chat, my friend. We'll give you this one.
Wow, it's generous. I don't really get that kind of money, but glad you do. So thanks.
There you go. Thanks for that, Pinochet. I really appreciate it. Hey, Canadian Spider-Man's here. What's up? Writers are incredibly important. I'm just saying Hollywood doesn't respect them, and it does prepare for these periodic strike actions. They do. You're 100% right. Davinia is right on it, and that's right. They absolutely are prepared for this. They have stuff in the can. They've expanded their reality television divisions again. You've seen shows being given, tentative go orders and things like that. Not to mention the fact that a lot of them are very well positioned already. I mean, Discovery Television is almost all reality for the most part, and that's but with Warner Brothers, they've already got their stuff in the can ready to go. Writers are incredibly important. They will stop the industry. And then you have the Directors Guild, right? And then the Screen Actors Guild. You could end up with all three of those things happening. Holy cow, ladies and gentlemen. Jim Watari over on Rumble just dropped a $20 Rumble rant. That's right. You can give those over on Rumble as well. It is a bright purple color. I love it. Thank you. And you know what it says? It simply says cheddar. You know what? Just for that, just the tip. Jim Watari, here's some cheddar for you.
Oh, man, that's some sweet cheddar. Guys,
yeah. And thank you so very much. That was incredibly generous, my friend. Lord Shax is over there. We got some great folks. David is over there. David Glenn's over there. Got some dog money. Yeah, I'm loving this stuff. But no, you're right, Davinia. They're very important, just as all of you are, and I appreciate you being here for this bonus time episode of the 6 Minute Daily. Rambam 3000 said Chat GPT could write better scripts than some of the talentless ideologues they have right now. Hollywood's kind of 50-50 right now with good writers and bad writers. The problem is that all of this is made up in writers' rooms. A lot of people are just trying to stay with a job in Hollywood, believe it or not. One of the writers' guild complaints is that writers' rooms have been shrunk. They're trying to standardize the room size. I can see why. They're very worried about AI writing. They finally came around. Originally, they were not worried about it. I'm like, you guys are silly. It's going to replace you. But there you are. Pinochet says there's no presumption of innocence under socialism and communism. This is what they want. Yes, Hollywood's been always been a pinko town. Sorry, it's the truth. Ronald Reagan, many other people called it out. Walt Disney himself called it out. Very anti-communist, very pro-West, very pro-democracy, or excuse me, not democracy, very pro-United States and pro representative republic. Yeah. So, yeah. Why can't we hold them under the standards they will implement? I think we should. But again, what I'd rather do is get to the root of the problem, Pinochet. And I know where the root is, and so do you. And if I can shift the root, if I can poison the root, then we all win. So, but you're right. This is an opportunity for everybody. YouTube doesn't like CC much. Yeah, well, it's fine. And Midnight's Edge has been doing great. Did you guys catch all the stuff they released? They had a great video this morning. Really, really good. Hello, Computer says, in my time following Johnny Depp, I never heard of him being a bad guy. If you look past partying with Dr. Hunter Thompson et al., which I think is pretty cool. Me too. I agree with you. Yep. Zavin says it's going to be funny when AI writes articles talking about the horrors of AI replacing OnlyFans models. Well, that's already happening. So, and here's the thing. We've already been dealing with AI writing. I'm going to keep saying this for those of you who have not been to one of these extended streams where I talk about this. The AP has been using AI writing for a while. If you ever look at any of their sports reporting or whatever, they basically are crafting stories, or the AI crafts stories from the box scores and things like that. And the same's happening in some business areas as well, which should concern you because AI is allowed to lie. How are they allowed to lie? Well, they're written with a very specific talk, or I should say they're trained with very specific language, including politically correct speech, which often leads to misrepresentation, lies, and just false assumptions. And that's a real problem. It's not plain spoken. Anytime you create an AI that's plain spoken and honest, well, there's certain groups of people that don't like that because it really destroys their narrative, and they don't like their narrative destroyed because it's the only way they can influence people is with emotion. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. Just the truth. Carpe diem, indeed. The time prop. Yes. I think I saw Dragon Master in here. I can't find the chat though. Let's see. Scrolling through. I love the Muppet clips too, Mike Lennox. They're great. Hey, SP4H is here. And you know what, Apex, you're right. MCU died after Endgame. So I'm not feeling like this is going to go well. Again, Disney has a lot of money tied up in this guy. The magazine Dreams thing comes out of Fox's Searchlight, and that's Disney still. So I don't know, man. Could be potentially some very bad news. So, I think I got another super. Cheddar. Everybody likes the stoned rat. Are people paying to shut Culture Casino up? Well, I don't know. Do you want me to be quiet? Trying to talk here. AI would probably save Disney if they switched. I don't know, Jason Gray. I don't know. What's up, Tipping Bar? Oh my! It's a $9.99 super chat from my good friend Mexican Iron Man, who will come in and ridicule me tomorrow on Loki's show, I'm sure. But for $9.99, our good friend Mexican Iron Man on tax day sends us this suggestion. New show, Culture Latinx. New live stream with Culture wearing a sombrero, eating a raw jalapeno and Carolina ghost peppers for 2 hours. Woo! Tell you what, those Carolina Reapers are rough. Yeah, I don't think I could eat more than one of those and not have to go to the hospital. They're lightning in a bottle. But jalapenos, no big deal. I got a bunch of them growing behind me. Oh, I can't wait. I'm getting real close to having this project finished up which I'm going to break into 4 or 5 parts on my DIY channel. And so behind me, I have this big picture window. That's going to be the new background for stuff like this. So, yeah, really excited. You guys have no idea. It's really going to be cool. You're going to be able to look at a lot of plants and stuff growing out in the greenhouse that's attached to the back of the house now. So good times. But thank you, Mexican Iron Man, for the super chat. I do appreciate all your support, Mikey. You are a wonderful dude. And you're going to get this one. Why not? Everybody likes the stoned rat, but I haven't played this one yet today. This is in honor of Tom.
I see you have money. Want to take me on a date?
And there you go. And I know Mikey would love to date me. I mean, let's just be fair. He loves me. Loves me. And there's 6. Hello, love. She's so great. It's bonus time. Bonus time. That's the way we get off on bonus time. Sung to the tune of the Brady Dutch. It's bonus time. Bonus time. That's the way we get off on bonus time. Yeah. I don't know how it goes. I think that's somewhat close to right. Lord Shax's culture regarding AI lying. I second that emotion. That's a Rumble chat. Thank you for that, Lord Shax. Appreciate it. Let's see. There's Olaf. What's up, Olaf? Yeah, framing the narrative. And this is a problem with yellow journalism. Now you're training an AI how to do yellow journalism. Not good. Someday, you'll get a headline that's AI generated that tells you the other team won the Super Bowl because of equity. You think I'm kidding? I am not. No. Grimm's partially listening. What's this about your roots, CC? Don't poison that. No, I'm not poisoning my roots. I'm saying you get to the root of the problem, which is, pretty easy to call out. You can point at 4 giant institutional investment groups, and you can point at how money is managed around the world. That's where the power is. It's who controls the money. Just like who counts the votes, by the way. The AI will never be a real woman. Well, there's a lot of people that won't be real women. Anyway, Black Saber is here. The AI has always seemed to go Skynet and wanting to tail out humanity. You're 100% right. 100% right. Indeed. Immune band member. I'd rather pay to have culture talk. Well, there you go. What is the link for tomorrow's show? That's a good question. I'm sure my mods can drop that. It's already up. I think I've already put it in place. So, yeah. 6 is saying hi to everybody. Nearsighted Cyclops says, what exactly is OnlyFans? It confuses me. Is it just a collection of cam girls? Kind of, sort of. I mean, you have a lot of different interests over there. People will go over there and do feet things, feet pics. People go over there and try to go with risque photos, not necessarily lewds or anything like that. Lewd representations of themselves. And then you have people that do that, it's just a way to monetize you or objectify yourself and have people pay for it. So I've often joked that I would do only elbows, right? Or I would just show my elbows, right? People would be interested in that, I guess. I don't know. But no, and again, I mean, to each their own. I mean, I don't go after people for whatever their thing is. Unless it harms somebody, and then specifically children, people who can't consent or too young to, things like that. We have a real problem right now. The UN wants to take away any restrictive measure. It already tells you where the UN is coming from. It's made up of all the poisonous humans in our society, which tells you the leadership is fully corrupt in the UN. True story. National disgrace. It can be done. There are lots of states where you are allowed. So there you go. Yeah, caffeine. Right here. Interestingly enough, a lot of the products that we put in our bodies in larger amounts are poisons. Caffeine is a poison. It's poisonous. Most people probably don't know that. But yeah, caffeine is used as a poison. You use a lot of these things. You can use things as pest control, all of that. We use a lot of the fake sugars. One of the reasons, this is funny, one of the reasons you have fake sugars in a lot of products are they discovered that because they're sweet, they're interesting to our palate, and they're fake sugar replacements. But they were actually created for a different purpose. Like mannitol is a baby laxative, but it's you get a lot of those things, lots of those tols. And in large doses, it kills you because it releases everything in your system in a way that isn't good. So weird stuff that I know, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Kanan is here. What's going on? Bamagrad, what's up, dude? I hope you're doing well. I don't think we can overlook how much influence Hollywood's Believe All Women disciples had on Major's representation deserting him. No, I think you're right. I mean, consider this. I mean, it for people to turn around on that idea, Bamagrad, you're 100% on the point there. But for people to turn around on that whole narrative playing out in Hollywood, it took a very brutal public fight between Depp and Amber Heard, right? And then right after that, we have what's happened between the evidence manufacturing of the Evan Rachel Wood against Marilyn Manson and other people, other parties who have come forward and said they were coerced by Evan Rachel Wood and her representation to go after Marilyn Manson, trying to get him caught up in something. You know, one out of 10, I think I've seen relationships can end badly. 1 out of 100, you likely will have a bad outcome from some relationship, whether it be an intimate one or a friendly one. So just keep that in mind when interacting with people and treat them with respect and don't do anything untoward. But I think you're right. I think that it takes these public truth campaigns to get things turned around in people's minds. So the Depp thing was that was bad juju. I've tried AI generated art, not necessarily on Bing. Midjourney is probably the best for art. There were some representations of that last night on the Elon Musk interview with Tucker Carlson. So I watched the whole thing. It was amazing. Well worth your time. It's why I have 2 articles from that interview in the news you saw earlier today. This avatar is AI generated. It's cool as heck. Truly is. What's up, B5 guy? Good to see you. Look at that train. Yeah. I bow to your expertise in OnlyFans. Well, I don't really know much about it. I know about it because I research everything I come across. I'm not as good a researcher as Six is. If you want somebody to drill down on something, Six is your person. She is incredible. Only Kinkles? I mean, is this a Lizzo channel, Grim? Caffeine Kennedy. Yeah. I like that idea. Disband the UN. Yeah, they're a poisonous organization. The atrocities and financial waste and embezzlement and all kinds of other stuff that has been exposed that the UN has been involved in just in the last 5 years alone is disturbing. Yep. Rule 1 of toxicology. The poison is in the dose. That's right. Sexy bunions. No, thank you. The strawberry milkshake at McDonald's is also a poison. Wow. All right. Didn't know that. Frake sugar primes your body to get real sugar to metabolize. And when there is nothing there, it all goes wrong. This is 100% true. I mean, you like I said, there's a lot of people, if you get really into health and you find a lot of these wonderful holistic based, doctors who are, medical doctors and researchers, clinical researchers, they will tell you these things. And if fake sugar is bad, you have this really weird insulin response thing that occurs if you get on that for too long. So I always say Diet Coke's kind of a form of like slow self-deletion for a lot of reasons. And things like that. Yeah. Cocaine is a psychostimulant, which is why people feel happy after drinking it, because you're high, since James Esparza. Yeah. And this is true. There's a lot of things the body will convert to formaldehyde in the system, believe it or not, but that's true. Well said there, hello, computer. Culture of the walking library. Oh, I don't know about that. Like I said, this young lady right here, in addition to having like the coolest voice ever and being just a genius, yeah, she's a great researcher. True story. Weatherman AH is still in denial over JD winning. Yeah, true story. Darius, what's up? Tipping Bar sends a member chat saying, to be fair, the dose makes the poison. This is true. Aaron Ratliff says, I'm waiting for the Japanese corporation to finish perfecting AI life companions, aka the bots. Yeah, the pleasure bots, I'm going to say. Okay. With a pre-programmed personality and look like any human anime character the user wants. Yeah, it's already being done. You don't think this is real close? It's real close. Oh, by the way, Elon has an army. You know those robots he presented at that thing just like 5 or 6 months ago? He's building an army of bots to replace redundant work that has to be done by humans in many industries. And his reasoning for doing it is a little bit different. But the thing that bothers people the most, I think, is his experimentation with the neural link, which I can understand why people be worried about that. But CC, will there be a comics show tonight? I don't know, but I do know that there is an Andre birthday show today. Can somebody here shed light on that? 6? Can you help me out with this? The comics division show was last night. We do the show on Mondays and Thursdays. So last night was Yelling at Parked Cars. Thursdays our regular event show. If you're referring to the member stream, I don't know. I don't. I'm so involved in other stuff right now. There's no way for me to keep track. But I can ask around, John. Man, we were talking about stuff. Shrap's bailing out. See you later, Shrap. Cute nerds here. Will you ever do a stream on your favorite independent forms of entertainment? Books, for example. Sure. Yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be a great one. Cute nerd. I may do that. I may absolutely do that. Lumily is my spirit animal. Mario Brothers. Pass the Diet Coke. Oh man, let me tell you, Lumily was great. I think that's going to be a big thing throughout the throughout the films. All right, Tender Warrior, go get them. Relaunching job search. Yikes. Yeah, man. And dealing with that crazy Epizootis is difficult. I'm not a big fan. Mr. H cast is in 3.5 hours too, right? Yeah, I think so. I think that's when Mr. H starts. Whoa, somebody went. What happened here? I'm missing context. I'll have to go back through the chat later. I will never accept AI as life. Yeah, Tuesday's Toxic Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. So you get a chance to check out Nick's channel, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser. Thank you, Pinochet. And go over some really toxic films. We did the Wick thing. I got to be on those. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. I just had a thought. AI and robots may take over the underground, like the Morlocks in H.G. Wells' Time Machine, leaving the surface to the Eloi. That's right, the gentle Eloi. Morlocks were the bad guys, and the Eloi were the good guys. This is true. There's a lot of great literature out there to go back and read. A lot of great films and things, film properties that would go and check out. I mean, H.G. Wells and everything else. What I really what's really a shame is you used to be able to experience a lot of stuff and be turned on to things because of Disney, because of the literary adaptations that they would do, not only in their films and television properties, but also in their theme parks. You got exposed to a lot of writers, futurists, which I would argue that Walt himself was a futurist. And his untimely death, again, because of something he knew was harming him, smoking, especially after he got cancer, really robbed us of a slightly different future. Every time that happens, we're robbed of a slightly different future. Lose somebody. Yeah. A lot of people, Harrison Williams, addicted to Gene Wolfe and Thomas Pynchon novels, books, F movies. Yeah, a lot of people are just off of movies and TV now, which I understand. Like you said, the biggest audience right now on linear television, even on streaming right now, is an older group. They are not appealing to the youth like they think they are with their woke garbage. The woke garbage is being rejected and ignored. It's not good. So Thunderduck says, I will stay by my estimate of 850 to 900 million for Guardians 3. It needs to make about 800 million. Will it get to 850, 900? Maybe. Hard to say. But this is Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was the film they were counting on to make $1 billion plus, because everybody knows it's the end of it. None of the stars. I would say most of those stars are never coming back to Disney. I wouldn't. Oh, that's true. The inert were passive and inert to be called. Good. This is true. Very true. What's up, Siege Perilous? We're all going to die from something. I choose to die from addiction to diet A&W. I didn't know you drank that. Wow. You guys are great. Look, there's Eric K. Did you cover the Southwest Airlines grounding the whole fleet? No. Let's get into that. This is news from about 2 hours ago, and I didn't catch it in time to put it into the show. But let's grab the post version of the story. Thank you for this, Eric K. This is going to be new. Southwest Airlines. Here we go. Thank you, Eric K. And I'm marking David. I'll get to your super in just a minute. I should probably put this on the screen so you can see it. Let's do that. So Southwest Airline briefly grounds all flights nationwide due to technical errors. This should concern you. Technical errors. So this is an updated story. Southwest Airlines says it briefly grounded flights nationwide due to technical errors as angry passengers blasted the company for delays on Tuesday. A repeat of the disastrous meltdown suffered by the carrier during the Christmas holiday. We had to implement a ground stop as a result of intermittent issues that we were experiencing, and we should hopefully be resuming our operation as soon as possible. And that was in response to an angry customer who said they were sitting in a plane waiting for computers to come back. That's bad. So the Federal Aviation gave Southwest the green light to resume flights a short time later Tuesday morning, though the planes heading into Dallas Love Field Airport were still grounded. That's one of their hub locations. It's a weird. If you ever fly into Dallas, it's Dallas Love Field. I think it's all Southwest. It's a really cool experience. In fact, that I will be probably this one will be one of the few times I fly Southwest is going to the Dallas meetup if I fly. Because this is a good place to go. Otherwise, I'll probably drive the big truck over, and because I've got some other stuff I want to do while I'm in Dallas, and bringing the portable studio with me, which means a bigger room, but it's what it is. According to FlightAware, which is an awesome app, by the way, that some 2,500 Southwest flights, which make up around 30% of its schedule, were experiencing delays. So the pause has been fully canceled. So they are back in full operation now. This person is weird. Once again, sitting on a flight and being delayed. What is wrong with your leadership? Isn't it time for a change at the CEO? I don't know if the CEO has anything to do with this, but lots of people angry. You can understand why. But anyway, thank you for that. I appreciate the story reference there. Thank you, Eric K. David Glenn sends a super chat, says, anyone know how to add credit card info into Rundle independent of the chat window? Is there a wallet section? I don't know, to be fair. Can look it up. Let's see, account overview. Would it be under payments? No. Transactions? No. I don't see anything that has anything to do with a wallet. So I don't know. I'm the last person to ask about Rumble, but we will be having a special guest, David Glenn, over on Comics Division channel next week, not this week, but next week, that is going to give us an education in how Rumble works. So, but I have no clue, David Glenn. And thank you for the super chat of $5. You get this lovely.
Thank you. Yeah, that's really all I got. Thanks for your being kind and supporting the channel. Yeah.
And there you go. Evil Ramen says perhaps all of Gaia will end up as a sort of cybernetic nanotech organism. Possibly. Sounds like a fun story. Oh, yeah, Olaf. A&W is a brand of very popular root beer here in the United States. They used to have A&W stores. I know they still do, but there are quite a few of them. I still love A&W. I like their actual root beer. Diet drinks just don't do it for me. Yeah, that's crazy. Somebody asked a question about Dallas, I think. They don't spend enough upgrading like the FAA. Well, to be fair, our air traffic system has needed massive upgrades for a long time. They're only recently on board with a lot of fly-by-wire stuff, but they deal with a lot of issues in plane communications now that didn't used to exist. You also have some added issues with people in the cockpits that we can't really talk about. But yeah, Fletcher Williams says, I think there is 2 A&W in Vegas. I'll have to check it out. I love A&W. Thunderduck says people shouldn't go all Rumble. Yeah, I like the idea of having everybody go to as many different platforms as possible. Simulcasting is one of the ways to make it, accessible to everybody. I think it's a good thing. Yeah, our bottle shop stock A&W drinks. Yeah, I love drinking out of glass bottles. I miss old packaging. Safer, healthier, glass, recyclable, really recyclable. So, Batcap says, we still have some A&Ws in California. Yeah, there's just not many of them anymore. Oh, I use a lot of creative language, Siege Perilous. So, yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be on a plane where somebody ceases to be alive that happens to be flying it. So, hey, Lisa. Lisa's here. Good morning, Lisa. There's no root beer in Germany? That's weird. I love root beer. Stewart's is better than A&W? I believe you. Oh, boy. But the writer strike thing is a real deal. You have, I swear, I've reorganized. If you've seen in the description, I've reorganized the way I'm doing the 6-minute daily streams as of today, where I'm breaking it down by category now, because like you have actual entertainment news, then you have like entertainment crime blotter, because there's always like a couple 3 stories that are, bad behavior in Hollywood stories, right? The Masterson thing today, the Choe thing today. You're gonna get those regularly. I mean, and you have trials for rappers being eliminated and things like that. It's just and again, I mean, we have different kinds of news now, so I'm just gonna break it down that way for everybody. The Elon thing last night is the one thing I wanted to talk about, because it is, to be fair, it probably is one of the bigger stories out there. And yes, I know you had to, watch Tucker Carlson to see the interview done live, which was recorded previously, I think, on Friday or Saturday in California hotel. But so Elon hints at a lawsuit against AI giant open AI? Well, because he dumped a lot of money into it. It was previously a nonprofit, and now it's, you know, a, a for-profit thing. And it's a real problem because of the language model training that's been done. And I mean, he actually says it outright, the same thing that I said, which is it's being trained in a rather PC way, which means you're going to only get PC information, which is oftentimes inaccurate because, you know, it doesn't want to hurt somebody's feelings. Well, facts don't care about feelings. And I know that that's a statement that a lot of people use, and it was a popular colloquialism, but it's not inaccurate. Data should not be reflected through some BS, you know, equity mirror thing, because then it becomes less accurate. Viewing it like that, it destroys accuracy. And it's very, very frustrating. But this particular thing, you know, when it comes to chatting, it's a real problem. It's a real problem, and it's going to taint a lot of things in the future. And if what Elon said during the course of that interview is accurate, that Larry Page wants to create an AI god, we have a real issue. The guy's he's so evil he's creating Skynet. If that's the case, not good. Yeah. And this is also true. An omission is an inaccuracy. Yeah. Okay, so here's what I did with my GPT thing, right? I cultivated one of my chat bots to be Edward R. Murrow, right? And I still have to remind Edward R. Murrow not to mislead or leave out any information. And here's the problem. Humans do this all the time. Like, for example, apparently there was lots of exculpatory evidence available for people that were accused of certain activities, you know, a few years ago and up until very recently. Well, of course, the people that are trying to charge people with something leave out the exculpatory evidence. That's an omission, and it should be something that could get you disbarred as a lawyer. If you're aware of something that destroys your case, you know, as much as you'd like to win, you are supposed to be compelled to make it available to all parties. So it's a problem. I think you're right. I mean, we could be fighting Cylons someday. Yeah, he hasn't been helping by dipping into the AI art. No, but he's also starting his own Truth GPT, which is something else he talked about last night. And I think, you know, training it to be honest, I think that's going to be the one that people are going to go to. The only people that are going to go to the others are the ones that want bias confirmation on just their political bologna sausage correctness, to be fair. And you're right, Fletcher, it should be a disbarment immediately. And the fact that some of these people aren't being disbarred, disturbing. And a lot of them are related to a particular wealthy foreigner that funds their campaigns that I'm not going to talk about. There's multiple secret Chinese police stations across the country. We were made aware of these going back months, and when they became public, they had to run an investigation finally, even though they knew they existed, and actually go after some folks, which they did. We have corporate interests that are keeping ties still as close as they are with China. Do you realize if we stopped importing goods from China right now, just completely, that'd be it. China had a bounce back in their economic growth recently, but that can all be undone by just ceasing imports. At least threaten to do so. Isn't that information available at Discovery? Not if it's suppressed, and it's been done. We've seen that happen. General Vague says, so the same people that enjoy Hollywood. Yeah. I'm not even sure Culture's a real person and not an AI. I never met him in real life. Says War Monkey, you can. I'll be in Vegas. Come and see me. Along with a whole lot of other real people. But I'll be there. It's going to be a good time. And it is kind of a silly assumption to say that, but in the future, maybe not so much. I mean, Dr. Peterson was talking about the fact that there are going to be a lot of very lonely men that never re-enter the real world again. It's not good for society as a whole. It's good for the globalists. They want a smaller population to control. You'll never have progress that way. The USA needs to restore its manufacturing base. We are trying. There are certain industries that are trying to return to the United States. We're trying to return to, a U.S.-based beer company right now. I have a feeling that you're going to see a lot more companies advertising themselves as USA in the near future, based on what just happened with AB. And look, AB was always destined to have a small stock bounce back up. Once the sales figures come out and they have a 30 to 70% dip in regions of the country. I think we've already seen some of those anecdotal reports, but if we start to see that come out and they're really getting hit in the business shorts and their quarterly suffers, I think you'll see them try to change their actual tune and actually do an actual apology. I actually have a video coming out about that tomorrow. It'd be a good point of discussion. General Vix says, I'm like 2 minutes into joining the stream for the first time. Pretty sure you're on a few extermination lists. Oh, I know I am. Yeah. I know. But thanks for being here. Appreciate you joining. We are also live on Rumble and Twitter, General Vix. So we are multicasting. Why are global supply chains better than national self-sufficiency again? I seem to have forgotten. Oh no, national self-sufficiency is preferred. Okay, so we want to get into the geopolitics of that. It all comes down to manufacture the price to obtain goods, manufacturing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There are only a few locations in the world where you can get certain raw materials. Certain raw materials are required for production of electronics and other things. So you need easy and cheap access to those things. That's why you have people digging with their bare hands to mine your cobalt for your stupid electric vehicle batteries. There you go. You get a crew of roughnecks drill a well to get oil. Done. And then oil can be connected to a pipeline. Pipeline can be fed into a refinery. Refinery can make fuel, which, again, the second most bountiful or plentiful liquid on the planet Earth is oil. And oil's in everything. So if we stop being a producer of oil, if we allow for the petrodollar to evaporate, the petrodollar thing really destroys America. In most Western countries. And at the same time, you end up with more expensive plastics. Plastics used for almost everything, including the medical field, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we can go down the list. We need to be self-sufficient in as many areas as we can be. We used to be, especially when it came to being the breadbasket for the world, which we used to be. We used to co-locate facilities that would process, foodstuffs next to farms. We don't do that kind of co-location anymore. A lot of that's starting to come back. You're starting to see small farms rise up. You're starting to see competition for corporate farming. We need to protect small and mid-level farmers. We need to be even more strict and a little bit more cautious about big brand farming, right? Corporatized farming. But there's a lot of reason for self-sufficiency. There's very little argument now left for globalism. Globalism allowed for a lot of economic expansion in places that didn't exist. It allowed for a lot of other things, but at the same time, it actually may have cost in terms of human capital more than it actually helped in any way. So there you go. Anyway, we do have a Rumble Rat from David Glenn for $2, and he became a monthly supporter, which is only $5 over on Rumble. Thank you. $5 a month gets you to be a monthly supporter, and it supports me directly, which I do appreciate. The money from a monthly supporter goes right into my pocket every month from Rumble, because they do not take $1 from the monthly support money, at least through the end of 2023, which is allowing them to expand quite a bit. But David, I appreciate the $2 Rumble rant, which says, and I quote, Rumble has issues with Firefox, had to switch to Brave browser. Well, Brave works great as a built-in VPN, amongst other wonderful features. So thank you, David, for checking it out. And I appreciate the technical update and upgrade. And here's this. This is a fun one. Appreciate it.
Words cannot express the gratitude that comes from culture towards you on this day. Or they can, but, it's just one of those things you say. Thanks.
Well, thank you. And indeed, I appreciate it, David Glenn. And again, also to just the tip, Jim Watari over on Rumble for the Rumble rounds for the day. So we're doing pretty good. We really are. DR, thank you for this compliment. Culture is the GOAT. I really wish this was true, but I'm trying. I have a lot of friends I try to emulate, like Gary and some others. Yeah, the spring is really, really busy. I have, but again, I have to set aside time to do these things. First of all, I'm going to tell you, if you go to a meetup, you get a chance to meet people in person, it refills your joy bucket. And I know that sounds very, positive of me, but it's true. And it makes you feel better. And you realize the difference between an electronic dopamine hit and actual experience of meeting a person. The true joy is experienced in those moments. And that's why there are people that I want to meet, and there are people that want to meet me, which I'm so flabbergasted by. But it's a lot of fun. And this year, of course, you're not going to be able to see these, but I bring a chip to each one of these, and yearly I carry around these poker chips that I have custom made. These are green this year. This is the blue ones from last year, and we have the red ones, which were from the first year. And I hand them out. Just here. Welcome. Thanks for being here. And the blue chips didn't make it to Vegas last year. They made it the day that I arrived, which was bad. But anyway, so those poker chips from last year, I also have some blue ones with me if you didn't get them at the Orlando meetup. But I will be this is the plan. I'm going to be at Vegas, obviously next week. I'm going to be in Dallas, which is in June, first week of June. And I'm going to be in Orlando for sure. Now, we've been talking about doing a meetup in an alternate location that may actually come together, which would be probably the Chicago area. So somewhere around Chicago, not in Chicago, because Lord knows I'm not going to go to Chicago. But somewhere near the Chicago area we've been discussing. So that will be just a comics division meetup, and you'll be welcome to be there. Regardless of whether or not you watch comics, or you just watch me, or you just watch Nick, or you just watch Corey, or whatever. We're going to invite everybody to come. Try to do the same thing that they're doing over there. So there you go. Pinochet's Helicopter Tour sends a $5 super chat, helping to sponsor today's show. For $5 says, remember the days of unofficial facts, reviews, audiobooks, i.e. unofficial Star Wars encyclopedia. Did I miss why and when they ceased? Well, because the official people didn't like the fact that they were competing with people who had more knowledge than them, and they couldn't automatically change the direction that they wanted to go. Probably. One of the most interesting things that happened. What is going on with my glasses today? One of the most interesting things that happened was Disney did a very poor job of talking about how to navigate their theme parks and the intricacies that are involved in a theme park vacation for Disney World. So you saw an unofficial guide to Disney World that was released by an individual who went on to start essentially a time planner for Disney. That's a subscription service. Did rather well with it. But those unofficial guides were way better at telling tourists how to go about navigating a Disney vacation, so they didn't waste time or money. When you waste time and money at Disney, it favors the theme park itself, because they are able to sell you more and make things more expensive, or opportunities more expensive for you to enjoy yourself. and also maybe force a second trip because you didn't get to do everything you wanted to do on your first one. So there you are. Why did they cease? Well, they ceased largely, and I still think the unofficial guide to Disney World is still available, but they started to cease, and especially websites that do this, they started to cease operation because they were attacked by the people that they were unofficially taking away from the official narrative. So that's probably largely it. Anyway, I still have an unofficial book that was supposed to be part of the Star Wars thing, which I think I've given away a few copies of, but yeah, it is what it is. And thank you, my friend, for the super. You get one of these. TR says, I love how the stream is titled 6-Minute Daily and it's been going for over an hour. Well, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do bonus time. We go about it somewhere between an hour and 90 minutes. I actually need to watch the clock very carefully. I think Olaf is still here. Olaf, remind me when Mr. H's Hcast kicks off. I think it's about 2 hours from now or 2.5 hours from now. But yeah, so like I try to manage the days so I can do real life work and then do a little bit of streaming. But Tuesdays and Thursdays, I try to set aside a little extra time for this stream. So it's just funner to talk, more fun. There you go, funner. More fun to speak with everybody for a length of time, longer than 6 minutes. So, but Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get 6 minutes. And then I immediately head over to Midnight's Edge in the morning on the Midnight's Edge channel to talk about entertainment news. So. Globalism is good for multinational corps, and that's about all. You're 100% right, Mike. Yeah. When it comes to that, it just does. It makes goods. Okay, so I'll give you an example. So we did a story today, and again, I try to cover the gambit, right? Global news, U.S. news, things that are related to entertainment industry, and then a couple of odd stories that are just kind of fun. That's kind of the way the show's made up, and it's done that way for a reason because there's so much heavy in the world. I don't want to add to the heavy, but this is a story we covered today. Apple bets big on India as it opens its first flagship stores. This is one of the first steps in making sure you can relocate your production and things like that to a country that is similar in labor availability as China. Apple's going to have to bail out of China. A lot of manufacturing is going to have to because relationships aren't getting better. And a lot of these American-based multinationals are going to have to look for other places to produce their stuff. So India is the next logical location, but they can also manufacture in Malaysia and a few other places. We'll see how that goes. But Apple's moving here. They're also trying to have influence there culturally, et cetera, et cetera. So they open a flagship store here and just to kind of drive their business and their brand and everything else. They even admitted in the story, it also hopes to turn it into a potential manufacturing hub. Of course they do. But it's a massive store that they're opening here. And, like I said, it's just one of the many steps that these multinational corps do before they start to make big moves. So just be aware of that. And this is true. I do make sure to schedule my time so that I don't accidentally stumble into Midnight's Edge after dark or Midnight's Edge in the morning or anybody else. So, but I appreciate you guys. For those of you who are new here, thanks. Please subscribe down below. Turn on the bell notification. And for those of you watching on Rumble and Twitter, hi. But yeah, I'm streaming to those three. I'm going to try to figure out how to stream live to Minds. That's next. And I might be able to stream live together. So that could happen too. They do have stores in India. This is a giant store. The store itself, this flagship store, is 20,000 square foot. It's huge. It's a flagship. You have a few of those spread out throughout the globe, but in the United States, there's a few of them that are enormous. I've been to a couple of them. But no, India is going to be really important to Apple in the future. So, and it will be huge. But they need it. They're going to have to expand manufacturing capacity in other countries because, like I said, Foxconn may not be doing stuff for them anymore. What a great name, Jetpack Laser Penis. Nerds. That's right. Pinochet says that, and I pestered CC to extend his show. This is also true. He did, but I get it's only 2 days a week, so I can't run over Midnight's Edge in the morning or anything else. So you guys are great. Monkey Jeebus is here. Great to see you. Yeah. What about the story of Chinese officials raiding Western offices in China? It's happening. You're starting to see divestment of these companies in China. You're seeing high-end chip manufacturing folks being forced to bail or have their visas or whatever their travel papers removed from them, including their passports. So they all came home. And again, this was something started under the previous administration, was continued on with the Biden administration, et cetera, et cetera. And this is true, Darth Plato. International relations, globalism, it doesn't work this way, but it is pushed because they believe that the more economically connected countries and regions are, the less likely there will be a war. Well, sure. And it kind of sort of worked, but not really. And it's changed a lot of things. And corporate farming has actually really hurt India. I mean, we can get into that. It's a geopolitical conversation that perhaps is worthy of discussion, but we really don't have time. I got about 9 minutes left. So, let's see. Yeah. Corporations will always gravitate to the most exploitable labor. This is true, Darius. And ways to spin it so it does not look like slavery. Also true. Look at Nike in China. And then look at the fact that they took the executive from Nike and put him in to a chairman of the board position at Disney. So it's further cementing that Disney doesn't mind slave labor. And they haven't been minding that for a very long time. But it's just bad. It's just bad. And again, all these megacorps need to be exposed for their bad behavior. Their PR should be taking a hit left and right. And, I'm one of the people that'll be happy to help them take a hit. You had 50 of the biggest brands globally that still participated in the forced labor market. Let's put it in those terms. That's continuing to happen. So, all right, so we need to get out of here because Midnight's Edge is going live in 10 minutes, and that is for Andre's birthday. Thank you, Six. And I will, of course, be very happy to wish Andre a very happy birthday. Let's see. Who else is in the house? Here we had I got a lot of chats going on. A lot of people. Sorry, guys. Just catching up. Yep. So I need to figure out a way to wrap this up for those of you who are here. I do appreciate it. Thank you for your statement here, Grim. I try to do a good stream. Thank you, Davinia. Dira sends a super sticker, which is a thumbs up for $1.99, which you get a real short one here, and it's kind of a funny one.
Wow. See why I only did $2. Huh.
So your next destination is going to be the Midnight's Edge channel if you want to stick in the conversation about entertainment and business entertainment, and of course wish Andre a happy birthday, which he deserves. I hear he's going to ride in naked on a moose. I mean, allegedly. So maybe that'll be worth it. I'm going to run the credits one more time, and then I'll say my traditional see ya. So let's get to that part. And here we go. These are the people we thank for the support of the channel on the regular. And I'm going to add, obviously, the folks that support me on the other platforms here as well. So I appreciate that for the folks that are $5 subscribers over on, or monthly supporters, I should say, over on Rumble. And as soon as I get to 10K on Twitter, I'm going to open up subscriptions over there. So there you are. Let's see. You guys are amazing. Look at all these incredible humans. And the numbers are growing, so I have to actually update this list as well. You guys are amazing. Look at this. But let's wish Andre a happy birthday. The link is in the chat, courtesy of Six. The link is there. I hope to see you there. I'm going to say what I always say. Be sure to take care of yourself. Take care of others. Wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, see ya!